Okay.
I know everything about you that there is to know. It's like an encyclopedia in my head.
I have approximate knowledge of many things.
Yes.
Do you know how we're going to start the episode?
Like that?
I was waiting for Twilix to say something. Twilix. Well. The fuck? I can't build off silence! Comedy genius is wasted on you. I had a whole bit I was going to launch into, and you just didn't say shit. Cool. That's not happening now.
My brain just kind of, it's just kind of,
Which
like,
approximately
you know
4 feet out
when a Pikmin dies.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was my brain.
Well, hopefully your brain doesn't do that anymore on this episode of Super Cast Brothers. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the only Super Smash Brothers podcast that has our dumbasses on it. Because unless Jonno is cheating on me, he's not on any others, and I know I'm not on any others, and Twilix, I think you would refuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Zantok, otherwise known as Lister. That's Jonno, otherwise known as Pain in My Ass. And that's Twilix, our guest for the episode, otherwise known as my other pain in my ass. I have two.
I knew you were going to go that way.
One of them I live with.
Hi.
Unfortunately,
help
on your ass. Is
no.
Pain. And which pain is greater? Where approximately is the pain from Twilix versus the pain from myself on the map of your ass?
I think it's context based.
It depends on the day and who I've had to interact with.
Yeah, context based.
Okay, so usually Twilix.
I mean, considering I deal with him more often, yeah.
And my dog.
And then there are the days where it's like, hey, Jonno, I need you to respond to this. It's been 3 weeks. That's the pain. It's just like it starts small, but it's just like it keeps getting worse and worse. We're just like, Jonno, it's been 7 months. Please respond.
Is that? Am I like a goiter?
I don't know what the fuck word you just said.
Yeah, like a large hard ball of pus.
Boy, I really want to restart the intro now.
Welcome to Super Cast Brothers, everyone.
Oh dear God. Okay, hey,
Say it again. I wasn't listening.
No. Oh. Jonno, I will restart this boat and turn it around. That is not going to become your new recurring joke. I will fucking end you. This is not me daring you to do it. This is me legitimately threatening you.
We'll see each other.
Yes,
Good.
And you'll die.
I look forward to this moment in my life.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Anyways, hi everyone. I am experiencing mental trauma. But you know what helps mental trauma out? Gifts from your Secret Santa. Hello, Cubone Pokeball. Look at that little thing. Look at this.
That's
actually really neat.
Yeah.
Does it have 100% catch rate on Cubones or?
Maybe. I can't open it. At first I thought it was like, oh, can I twist it open? No, don't. It does not open. It does not open. I tried and I was like, oh no, that is solid. Okay. I actually got a second thing today.
It is. Wow. Join the team. Mad Dog of Shimano.
This came in the mail today. I was like, oh, this is perfect timing because today I did a Yakuza Kiwami stream dealing with the introduction to Majima Construction, the minigame, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. It's like, oh, this is just perfection. Great time.
I know who your Secret Santa is now.
I knew who it was from the beginning because I'm the one that organizes this shit.
I'm their Secret Santa, as it were.
You are their Secret Santa. Twilix has not joined our Secret Santa ever.
No.
That's okay. I'll send Twilix a gift from my heart.
Technically, you could because you have his address because you have my address. You could send him a gift at any time.
It could just be me. I myself might just show up.
All right, Tyrion Lannister, you are not the gift.
Thank you.
I feel
The
very
best character on the
worried
show. Thanks.
about the imminent future.
You should feel worried about the imminent future.
You know,
I mean, I
John,
have been for like
this, and
months.
you may.
Jono's
you
going
may
to just
actually
show
be
up
thinking that
randomly
future.
in the middle of next June or April or something, and he's just going to be like at there and
Yeah.
be like, "Oh God, he's here." It's like, "Yep, he's here."
Perhaps
He's
in July,
here.
it might just happen.
It might just happen. But you know what else might just happen?
This episode, if we can ever get it.
Welcome to another episode of Super Cast Brothers, the only podcast where I do the intro multiple times. No, wait, well, where I do it multiple times, yes. Because other podcasts don't have me, so therefore I can legally say that. There are other podcasts I know where, as a joke, they have written the intro so many fucking times.
Yeah, welcome to Super Cast Brothers, everyone.
Welcome to
Welcome
Super
to
Cast
Super
Brothers,
Cast
everybody.
Brothers.
Two good old friends. We talk about our love for the Smash Brothers series of video games.
And we argue about how likely certain characters are to appear in Smash and who we would rather have and what kind of moves they would have. And no, 12 fell asleep. Shit.
I'm here.
Oh, good. You're awake. I thought you ran away when we started talking.
No,
Does
not
Twilix
yet.
generally run
Not
away
yet.
when you talk?
I'll just use my Wiimote to make you stay.
Oh, nice. I
You're
love
crap.
myself my Wii remote.
No,
I
I
mean-
succeeded on my save.
I'm recording a GameCube game right now, so I have to use it in my Wii. So every time I start, I have to okay, turn on the Wii, point it at the sensor bar, aim at the thing. Okay, cool. Launch GameCube channel, put down the Wii remote. And then I can't back out of GameCube channel. I have to just turn the whole Wii off. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying a fresh Wii, like one that is a little refurbished and nice, because mine died in the shed a long time ago. I just do that.
You got good games.
Yeah.
I recently had to get a new battery for my 3DS because it was swollen.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's been many years since I turned that thing on. So yeah.
And then you're just like, what is that swell or bulge inside of the system?
Well, the first thing I noticed was I started playing Pokemon Moon, and then after a few minutes of playing, it just shut off on its own.
Oh, that's
I
not
read
good.
that it was a probably a battery issue. I opened up the 3DS to check the battery, and yeah,
yeah.
no,
Lo and
that's
behold.
bad.
So you said you're playing Pokemon Moon, right?
Yeah.
So what Pokemon are on your team currently in Pokemon Moon?
I love that guy.
I've got a Dartrix. I am blanking. Bird. I have the second evolution bird.
Trumbeak.
Yeah, Trumbeak. Who else do I have actively? Because I've switched a few around.
I know you told me about a few that you've caught. Like you told me that you caught a Rockruff, an Oricorio, a Alolan Grimer.
I could just turn the DS on and check right now.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, go ahead. I like the kitty.
The what? You mean Litten?
The kitty cat. It's orange, just like Garfield.
I don't think there actually is an orange cat
Oh,
in Pokemon.
my Discord thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not seen by the viewers because Discord has those little avatar things you can put around your thing or your profile picture. I don't do that because it requires giving Discord money, and fuck that.
I'm only using this because it's free.
Fair.
I got for free as part of the end of year thing they did.
Oh. Yeah. They gave me one.
So too. Pokemon, I got a Pichu, I got a Grimer, I named it Bile. I have a what's it called? Yungoos and Smeargle.
Sparkle's an interesting choice, considering it only learns Sketch. And you have to use Sketch to get different moves.
Mhm.
So, knowing
thought
all
I'd try
that, knowing all that, that's actually a perfect segue for us. Thank you, Twilix. To go ahead and go into our first Rate Their Chances character of the episode. It is a Pokemon. I picked this specifically for you.
Oh.
So you said you're playing Pokemon Moon, and you said your team is, and so now I can tell you that the Pokemon that we're going to be talking about for the first Rate Their Chances character of the episode is Meowscarada.
Oh.
Not for Pokemon Sun and Moon at all.
How appropriate, considering I've got a Meowscarada figure on my desk here.
Yes, it is. At first I was going to pick a Pokemon from Sun and Moon, but then I was actually, you know what? I know he likes Meowscarada. Let's just do that since that's from the most recent generation instead.
Yeah.
So, Meowscarada. What are the odds that what are the chances that we think Meowscarada has of becoming a playable fighter in the next Smash Bros. Game? As a reminder, you can't say 0%, you can't say 100%. It's 1 to 99 whole numbers only. Don't play bullshit with me. So, as far as Meowscarada is concerned, my general thought is, hey, Meowscarada is from the most recent generation. They are a grass starter, which is the only starter type that we don't have yet. That said, who knows if Sakurai even cares about that metric. And the third final point is, as far as I'm aware, it's fairly popular. I think it's the most popular of the 3 starters for Gen 9. Fairly sure about that. And with its whole magician doing magic tricks type deal, technically that's a new niche that hasn't been represented in Smash yet. The numbers could be aligning here.
Aligning. Because it's a cat.
However, I said all the positive first. Here's the negative to Meowscarada's odd to being in Smash. Hey, if Smash has started work at all, it is only barely begun work since Kirby Air Riders has just finished, and the team did at least one balance patch, and it sounds like they might do a second. But if Sakurai is going to be working on the next Smash game, it's like now is the soonest anything will be decided on with characters. And Generation 10 is also in production at the moment and is very likely to be revealed and released next year. Is Meowscarada going to lose their chance?
It could. I mean, presuming Smash 6 is out by 2028, and the new Pokemon's out in what could be gauged perhaps 2027. That means that the development plans are already in place. There's probably general, like pretty finished conceptual designs for the 3 starters and whatever, I'm sure. So we know from Smash 4 that Sakurai used kind of that base knowledge before Gen 6? Was that it? Gen 6, Gen 7?
6, yes.
Before Gen 6 was out, he was able to see the design for Greninja. I was like, oh yeah, well, the Pokemon game's not fucking out yet, but let's just slap them in there.
And the same thing happened with Incineroar as well.
Mm-hmm. I can't follow that logic. He saw Incineroar and was like, this is definitely the best of the 3. Yes, I know this in my heart of hearts.
I think he just wanted to make a wrestling moveset and he took the opportunity.
Should have done Starman.
Could have done Starman.
Yeah. Or line up the Rex to Hulk Hogan before he died. Yeah,
no.
What?
But yeah, that is the greatest kind of tribulation that Meowscarada has. If it were releasing tomorrow, I think Meowscarada has a pretty damn good shot.
Yeah,
it's just with future vision and understanding how Pokemon inclusion kind of works in Smash, where the newest generation, which would be the next one coming up by the time Smash is out, gets precedent. That's I think Meowscarada might have his best chance if there's a need for like a great grass starter, and maybe the next gen's grass starter is not as versatile as Meowscarada, and if there's like 2 or more Pokemon included.
Yeah.
One from the most recent gen, and then perhaps Meowscarada included. Those
So
are my
what we've
thoughts.
got to do is force the Pokemon Company to not release another generation for a while.
Good
Hey, that's what the
luck.
fans want.
Yeah, we want them to slow their goddamn roll, but they are not slowing their
Mhm.
goddamn roll.
No. I mean, we could talk about it. Weren't there leaks that kind of said that the next gen is coming relatively soon?
Yeah, from Terra League Part 2, we know Gen 10 is very much on its way. Presumably, we know the names, the general themes, the region, some details on the
Yeah.
legendaries, but none of which
Yeah.
we're going to be going to detail on here for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But Gen 10 is absolutely next year. It's absolutely coming next year.
Mhm.
But we don't know.
I wonder if they'll bring the national text back.
It's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never. I mean, the good news is that since Sword and Shield, like each game has gotten, well, not counting Arceus, each, or I guess Diamond and Pearl, but those were remakes. Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, and ZA have all gotten DLC that added a bunch more Pokemon. So like we're never gonna get all 1,000 plus Pokemon in a single game anymore. But they are just adding a bunch in. It's like, okay, at least you're doing that, and you're making sure that we can at least get, like, I think now, as of ZA, every single Pokemon is playable in at least one's game on the Switch. Due to technical reasons, they can't all be transferred to Pokemon Home because Ilka fucked up with Spinda, and Spinda can't be transferred to Home, but everything else can.
What's wrong with Spinda?
Something with the code, with how it has its random spot generation, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. But Twilix, what do you think about Meowscarada and its chances of being playable in next match? You don't have to have a number just yet, but just your general thoughts.
See, I was going to say the chances are decent, but then you brought up the whole they want to go with the most recent generation and they pick it early. So with that in mind, I don't think the chances are very high at all.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool, but I'm being realistic here.
Mm-hmm. Meowscarada's odds really do hinge on one, when Sakurai starts picking the characters. It really depends on if he's starting to work on the next Smash game now. It's possible, although I think it's unlikely, it's possible he's not going to start it for another couple of years. I think that's very unlikely, just based on the fact that Nintendo is going to want a new Smash game sooner rather than later. And there's been zero mention of a Smash Ultimate Switch 2 edition. If we weren't going to get a new Smash, like if that wasn't on their near immediate radar, we would absolutely be getting a Switch 2 edition of Smash Ultimate. But there's been no word about that. So
Yeah.
I think we're just going to get a new Smash instead, which I'm fine with. But that means it needs to be started on now. Gen 10 is coming, and then as Jonno mentioned, it kind of depends on what the grass starter of Gen 10 is going to be like, and if Sakurai even wants to do a grass starter period, or how many Pokemon he wants to add to the next game. But going based on previous games, Smash 64, the newest Pokemon game was Pokemon Red and Blue. The only Pokemon game. We got two characters. Melee, the newest game is Gold and Silver. We got Pichu. We also got Mewtwo to represent Gen 1 again. Smash Brawl comes around. Gen 4 is now the most recent games. We get Lucario, and we also get more Gen 1 with the Pokemon Trainer. Gen 1 is the only generation they've gone back to when it's no longer the most recent. Smash 4 comes around. We're skipping Gen 5. Gen 6 is the newest one. Barely. Smash Ultimate comes around. Strangely enough, Gen 7 is the newest because the amount of time between Gen 4 or between Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate was pretty small. But now, for the first time, assuming no Gen 9 Pokemon gets added to Smash, we're going to be skipping 2 whole generations at once going to the next Smash Brothers game. And there's also the whole questions like maybe he won't even go for a starter. Maybe he's finally going to be tired of just adding starter Pokemon because the only non-starters Pokemon that we have in Smash are Pichu, Jigglypuff, Mewtwo, and Lucario. Everything since Lucario has been starters.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Tinkaton.
The,
Maybe we'll get another legendary. Ogerpon.
Pinkerton would be cool.
Pinkerton would be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I could see him going. It's like, okay, maybe I maybe don't want to do a grass starter, but maybe I'll do Ogerpon instead, because then I can have the grass moves, but I can also do some other things. Who knows what he wants to think of? We'd have no idea. But with the next Pokemon game coming out, Meowscarada Zards are sinking. At the time of Gen 9's release, it looked good. But too much time has passed, I think. I'm still going to give what I would call decent odds to Meowscarada, because there's always that wild card chance. Maybe he does 2 Pokemon. Maybe he doesn't like the starter options for Gen 10. He picks a different Pokemon that he gives us another Pokemon from Gen 9. Who the hell knows? But I'm still going to go with... What number do I want to hit? I'm going to go 25. I'm going to go 25% chance.
Okay.
I've been thinking 32.
32, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Jonno?
I don't know why. It's just the number that popped in my head.
20.
20?
Yep.
Okay. And that will average out to 25.6% chance.
Nice.
One of my favorite numbers.
Okay. Well, our next character for Rate Their Chance today is going to be another one that I know Twilix knows quite a bit about. It may be excited to speak about.
Ooh.
But it's Django from Boktai. Now, we've talked about Django a little bit on the podcast before. I don't think a whole lot at all. But actually, no, it was just me when I made a move step for him and I talked about him here. That's all we've really talked about him. We've got a vampire hunter that uses solar-powered weapons to fight back against them. And the whole thing with this game, which was made by Kojima, by the way, is the actual Game Boy Advance cartridges had a sensor in them that could detect sunlight. And the more powerful direct sunlight you were under, the more powerful your weapons would be in-game, which is a wild concept. Unfortunately, Boktai kind of got scuttled and shoved down a disposal unit during the DS era. It's been a long time. It's a third-party franchise, and Konami isn't very... Konami is weird with Kojima in the past several years. I don't think Django got a chance.
No, I'd put the chances at like 1%. And I think that's generous.
I was going to say 2.
I would concur. There's always the off chance that maybe Konami gets representation in the assist trophy department, in which case maybe you spin the roulette reel. They're like, yeah, Django, why the hell not? Make a pachinko machine with him.
He could make a great assist trophy.
Yeah, but as for a character, I mean, of course I'm in agreement. It's low. I would say like 2%.
There's also the general relevance Boktai has had, even when it was still getting games. It's a bit of a niche.
Well, technically, it has gotten a little bit more relevant in the last 2 years with the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, considering 30 of the 6 games have a Boktai connection. Technically, it's a little bit more relevant now. Technically.
Yeah, a marginal amount.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it was much.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like good games, though.
Oh, yeah. You would just hate the stealth mechanics.
I hate all stealth mechanics for always and ever.
I enjoy harnessing the power of the sun.
Okay.
We can salute it together.
Okay, I was thinking of 2 different characters. I wasn't sure which one you were thinking of. Turns out you're going with the safer option. Never mind.
Soler!
Yeah, that was the other one. All right, so new event match in Smash between Django, Weepit Trainer, and Solaire. We need one other sun-obsessed character, so they can just all 4 fight each other. I don't know who the 4th one would be, but something. Oh, maybe you play as well, no, I don't. Nah, fuck it. Moving on. Jonno said
play as the knight from Hollow Knight.
Does the Night
Oh,
from
yeah,
Holiday have
there
a
you
thing
go.
about the sun?
Technically, yes. Basically, you're fighting the moth god.
Okay.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
Well, averaging out our 3 scores, Django discussion went quick because there really wasn't much to say, unfortunately, other than bitch be
Yeah.
cool. Look at
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah.
He looked cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he averages out to a 1.6% chance, the lowest of the season so far. It's only our
We'll
second
see how
Smash
far we
Dash
can
of the
sink.
season. Now, this next one, I would say the remaining 3 all have much higher odds than our first 2, at least in my opinion. The first of these 3, though, it may be a bit hard to say. Zero from the Mega Man franchise, specifically the Mega Man
Ooh.
X sub-franchise. So,
Yeah.
Zero, we've already got classic Mega Man as a character in Smash. So, it's always a cool question of, are we going to get a second Mega Man character, and from which sub-franchise? But Zero is the most popular character across all of Mega Man. Correct me if I'm wrong, Twilix. We've got cool guy with a sword, and he's got like a bunch of other abilities that he has as well that he could use. So he'll that from across the different X franchise, from across the different X games and the Zero games. He's he's of the character. Whenever Capcom does crossover games and they bring in Mega Man, Zero is the most commonly chosen character to be crossover from the Mega Man franchise. Honestly, I think the only reason why we got classic Mega Man in Smash 4 was because he was the original. I think if Capcom was choosing, they probably would have pushed for, hey, promote Zero because he's the one that we always promote. So if we get a second character for Mega Man, my money is hardcore on Zero, but will we get a second character from Mega Man? As discussed before, second character, and also Capcom has a lot of franchises that have good Smash potential and that they might want to push and that people would like to see. Mega Man, Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, Ace Attorney. There's several that Capcom has good potential for. More Street Fighter.
Yeah, and more Mega Man kind of lives within the upper reaches, I think, of those considerations for another Capcom series character. Being, along with Street Fighter and Resident Evil, kind of like the capstone representative, like character representative franchises for, and Monster Hunter. Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot for Capcom. There's a pretty good chance. Like Zero's a pretty significant legacy character who has been in umpteen fighting crossover games, as is. Um, there's a pretty good shot, I think, for him if they were to go to the well and say, we want more Mega Man. He's the obvious option. It's not going to be as much as, we'd want to have other characters in consideration. He is by far the likeliest for the series. They could always veer. They could always give you like, oh yeah, there's Dr. Wily or something, something out of left field. Yeah, but just purely likelihood. If the qualifying question is more Mega Man, it's Zero. Um, it's a big ask because of all the other series Capcom has, and it was weird too. For all of the circumstance and pageantry around like Capcom is this basin for amazing characters to draw from for Smash. We didn't get a new one besides an Echo in Ultimate. So there's also just that wild card factor where it's like maybe we just don't do it again. And when you're considering all these other franchises, Street Fighter, Monster Hunter, Resident Evil,
Power
Ace
Stone.
Attorney, Okami, yeah, yeah.
Darkstalkers, Bionic Commando.
Final Fight, Ghosts and Goblins, like that. Those kind of live on the outskirts, but technically have a chance. His chances are. I think I might give him relatively decent chances, but they're not going to be like the highest of the high.
Fair. Twilix, what do you think?
I actually think the chances might be higher than you might expect. Because, well, one, there's a new Mega Man game that got announced. and Capcom was actually looking into trying to do more with Mega Man again. And if they were to have another Mega Man character in Smash, sure, they could go for X if they really want to. They could go for Mega Man.exe. But I'm thinking, considering that, yeah, I see that happy face. I think considering the fact that Zero would play so much more differently than classic Mega Man, assuming they keep him in, because who knows? I think that would be the main deciding factor on who the next Mega Man character is for Smash.
Yeah.
That and popularity, of course. So I think the chances are actually decently high.
I don't know if I would say they're high for me personally, but I do think it is Zero. If it's not Zero, I kind of struggle to think who it could be because I don't think it's going to be like as well. I do think all the named Mega Man characters, whether that's X, EXE, Star Force, or Legends, I think all of them could easily be made unique from each other. They're not going to do that. We're not going to get two characters named Mega Man from Mega Man. That's insanity. Could they replace Classic Mega Man with one of them? Sure, but I think Sakurai, based on his statements before, I think he would be very against that idea. If now, granted, he may not get a say. He may be told it's this or nothing. He's like, well, shit, okay. But assuming it's not other Mega Man, then the options, the more likely options fall down to, and these are varying levels of degree of potential, but classic base, classic Proto Man, Dr. Wily, Zero, Sigma, Protoman.exe, Roll.exe, Harpnote, and Tron. Those are the 9 theoretical options, in my opinion, of who they might pull from. And of them, Zero has like the 95% chance of being picked, and then all the rest of them are fighting for that last 5%. I mean, maybe I'll go with 10%, 90%. Sigma has like a little bit more than the others, and Dr. Wily, the two of them have a little bit more. But then everybody else is just like fighting for those scraps of percent.
Poor Axel not even on the list, though.
No.
I wouldn't
What?
be opposed to doing a curveball and having Axel win, though.
Axel's
You
whole
could make
gimmick
that
is too close to
enough.
Kirby's gimmick. They're not going
Well,
to
he's
do
got
that.
more than just that. He's got other
Yes,
weapons he
but it's
uses.
his primary gimmick.
Yeah,
It'd be like putting in Zoroark, but not letting Zoroark transform.
fair, fair.
Which Zoroark's whole thing too is Jesus. That's a different topic. But you mentioned Twilix, and I'm glad you mentioned this because I was going to if you didn't. Capcom recently announced a new Mega Man game. A classic Mega Man. I believe it was what called Dual Drive or Dual Overdrive? I think Dual Overdrive. I think that was its name.
Yeah, I think so.
And there was some people were coming was like, oh, it's just more classic. It's basically Mega Man 12 is what it is. But through leaks and speculation, we've seen people talk about, okay, so Capcom is wanting to do more things besides just this game. Supposedly there is at least one other Mega Man game being worked on. We don't know what sub franchise it's for. And Capcom said recently that they want to elevate Mega Man to be a tentpole franchise like on the level of Resident Evil. It's like, and my first reaction was like, you mean like how it used to be? It was your fucking mascot franchise for a long time, and
I
then
heard
you
that the
fucked it
reason
up.
why the new game has been taking so long to even be announced is because they were training the team on a new engine to use.
That makes
for it.
sense. And like
Which,
they did
yeah,
X
that's fair.
Dive in recent years. They made a Mega Man game that we know through again leaks and rumors that a Battle Network mobile game was in development at one point alongside X Dive, but it got canceled. Probably during COVID, they was just like, okay, we can't do both these games at once. We're just gonna pick one and push forward on it, and they picked X Dive.
Yeah.
But Zero, of the Mega Man characters, he has the highest chance. Of even Capcom characters, I think he has a good chance. Overall, getting to Smash, it's a little bit more contentious. But I don't think it is low. I think it's higher than Meowscarada. I'm gonna go with 35%.
Yeah. I don't know if I want
43.
Axel in, only because if we had a character using chakrams, although you could use like fiery ones, I would sooner have like Mio in, I guess. Represent
Sir, some people don't know that you're playing a bit, and they're just gonna be like, "What the fuck is this guy on?"
Yeah.
Wrong Axel!
Oh, a car axle. No.
Yeah.
His whole gimmick is copy shot.
I'll
It's
throw
like,
an
okay.
Axel at you.
Axel the Red, the other Big Man executor named Axel, because there's two.
Yes, I will throw the robot at you.
They're both robots.
Yeah.
The Red Axum Ranger. That's what I would say.
You Wonder Red?
Smash. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Anyway, yeah, we can go on about it. Like, there's so many different like levels and layers to this. Let's see. So we're saying, what was it? 35 and 43 were your numbers?
Yeah.
Okay. 38.
38. Okay, I thought you were going to be lower than me. That will bring our average out to, funnily enough, 38.6.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this next one, you both would champion for. You both know this game. You've played this game. Let's chat about Amaterasu. Another Capcom choice. And I explicitly did not mention Okami when I was listing Capcom franchises just a bit ago, because I didn't want to spoil that Amaterasu was being talked about next. So here's the deal with Okami. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but the original release Okami was kind of quiet. It was more niche than Resident Evil or Monster Hunter, by far. I don't know if it'd be more niche than an Ace Attorney, because Ace Attorney, we admit it's niche, but we fucking love it. So Okami, it started out kind of quiet. It got a I think the Wii version was technically the remaster, and then it later on got a
The Wii version was a port.
Yes, it did get an HD remaster though at some point.
That came on got on Steam.
Okay, I thought
the
Wii was the HD remaster.
No,
it was on Switch 2, PS5, like all the current hardware.
Okay,
but the Wii version was like revolutionary for the control scheme.
Yes, and then we also got a sequel game on the DS called Okamiden that is even more niche, in that people don't talk about, and in fact, it seems like maybe getting ignored by Capcom intentionally. I don't know. I cannot confirm anything. All I can say is I think Amaterasu has more going for them than their negatives. Their negative is that their original game was niche, but their positives are unique character. We have I don't think Zach's gonna be like, I don't feel like adding another quadruped. Let me specifically research quadruped characters that we could add to the game. He's not going to do that. But Amaterasu would play very differently from anything else, which we know he does like. I think Okami and Amaterasu are very Nintendo friendly is not quite the word I'm looking for, but I think it would it fits in with the general Nintendo sphere. That said, we have Solid Snake, so is that really a thing even a concern? Probably not.
Right.
But the biggest thing, last year, well, I guess not last year when this released, last year when Game Awards 2024, there you go, that's how I can announce this, revealed that after Hideki Kamiya left Platinum Games, he's teaming up with Capcom again to make an Okami sequel. Now, we know nothing about this Okami sequel. Nothing has been announced in the year since. The only thing that's been announced is Hideki Kamiya bitching out anybody that asks him about AI, which fucking love.
Which is great. Perfect.
Perfect. Beautiful.
I mean, technically, we don't even know if Amaterasu is the protagonist of it.
We don't. We have no idea. Like, there may be a 1,000-year time jump. We don't know. Maybe it's fucking Okami with mechas. We don't know shit. But I don't think there's something.
I don't know if I would love or hate that.
I know, right?
I don't know.
You get like 5 different characters, and they all have their different mechas, but then they can combine their mechas into an Amaterasu mecha. That's the plot.
Excellent.
Yeah, and
An
you fight the
Amaterasu
final boss
Megazord.
is a mecha Yami, because of course it is.
Perfect.
We're just
Perfect.
repeating
Perfect.
beats.
Yami's already in a fucking mecha.
Okay, but it's mecha Yami. Shut the fuck
Mecha
up.
Mr. Orange.
So it's Mecha Yami inside of a Mecha Yami.
Yeah,
Yami
because
Ah.
they're also kaiju sized.
It's like a nesting doll of Yami.
Yes,
I can see
in
that
fact, that's how the boss fight goes.
You know what?
You have to
I
break
wouldn't
them.
even be
You have
mad.
to break them the layers like an
wouldn't
onion.
Onions have layers.
Oh my god. My point being, sometimes it's like, okay, when like with Smash Ultimate, people are just like, oh my god, they're gonna add in an arms character and a Xenoblade 2 character for the next Smash. I'm just like, guys, those games just released. It's way too late for them to be considered. Especially ARMS, which is a brand new IP. Okami, not a brand new IP. They don't necessarily need to go like, we don't know how this is going to do. We don't know if we want to promote this or not. No, that's not a question in the goddamn slightest. Because we already know Amaterasu. We already know that people like it, and we already know that they can make Amaterasu work in a fighting game because they already did in a little thing called Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would add to that too. Like the recency is there now with Okami 2, and Sakurai and Kamiya are good friends. They hang out outside of work. There's that relationship that Sakurai and Kojima had that led to Snake being included in Brawl. So there could be, Sakurai doesn't have many um, apparent biases, but one of them is like, oh, my friend Kojima wanted me to put his character in the game, and ergo, here's Solid Snake. There's a Smash Snake, technically, the amalgam of Big Boss and Solid Snake is still weird. So that could be the case here. Kamiya and Sakurai had dinner with other developers recently. It could have been that discussion. Could be. There's a discussion on the side. Okay, let's put Amaterasu in Smash.
Yeah, would
it's
it be our
oh,
first
you son of
Kamiya
a
character?
bitch.
We've got Bayonetta too.
Yeah, technically. Yeah. So now is one of those. It's like the antithesis of the Masquerada argument, where it's the recency, the mid development. It's helping Amaterasus' chances significantly. If Okami 2 were not happening, it would be niche. It would be up against so many other different forces. But now it's like we're balling. Like Okami is up there with Resident Evil, with Mega Man, with Street Fighter for like heavy consideration.
And while Okami 2 would be further along in development than Smash would be at this point, Okami is probably going to take longer to develop than Smash does. So the development cycles could line up very easily.
Yeah. And we all know it's a Switch 2 game. I would eat my socks and call him Bobby if that didn't happen.
Plus, even if it misses the initial release, there's still the DLC. And at that point, DLC, at least for Ultimate, was very heavy third party. It was very heavy. Let's promote these games that are either new, that are generally, for the most part, new games on Nintendo, so that they can sell money or make money, rather.
No money.
Sell money. I'm in. Tell
We
me where to
all
sign
know.
We sow gold.
Any hoodle, what do we think are the actual number chances of Amaterasu? Because I think they're actually high.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like 6, 7, 67.
83.
All right, so we have an 83, we have a 67, and I'm going to go with a 70 for me.
I am just always the optimist except for Boxby.
I mean, I'm also very much not an Wait, what the fuck? Oh, I see what I
Boxby
did
is the
wrong.
one I was the least hopeful for. I'm realistic when it comes to that.
I'm generally the pessimist, just in life. We know how I
Yeah.
be. So that's going to
Yeah.
average out to
Yeah.
a 73.3% chance that we think Amadorus will be playable in the next game. Honestly, is it high? Quite possibly. We don't have very many third-party characters that are high in our prediction list, but things could easily line up just perfectly here. If it wasn't for Okami 2, I would be like, no way. No fucking
Yeah.
chance. But
What a time to be present in gaming.
also, Amaterasu is now currently the highest rated character of the season, of course, across 2 Smash House episodes. But still, will that change with our next character? Very
Could be.
possibly. Because next up, we have a character whose game is brand new. It is very topical. Twilix, please talk to us first about Psylux of Metroid
I
Prime
also
4.
can.
Oh boy, this is controversial.
Now let me just start. There's
Uh,
always a spoiler warning on Supercast Brothers.
Mhm.
But considering Metroid Prime 4 literally just came out, I mean, a few months ago from the time this episode comes out, considering it just came out, take an extra spoiler warning here. If you are wanting to play this game and you haven't gotten there yet, skip ahead. Skip ahead right now. But beyond that, Twilix,
Yep.
first just tell us your kind of thoughts on Salix as a character in Prime 4 in general.
I feel like he was very underutilized in Prime 4.
Hmm.
But I think it's a combination of two factors. One is that it's a completely new team working on Prime because the people who made the Prime trilogy not there at Retro anymore. Haven't been for a while, probably. So I kind of understand that there's definitely some stuff that was not done as much justice as it should have. Considering it's new people, they're still getting the hang of the actual gameplay, which I feel like they nailed, by the way. And also the other thing is, I definitely feel like there was a lot that they wanted to do in Prime 4 that for one reason or another they couldn't get working, and they had to cut some things out, chop things together, and make it work. So
Yeah.
I feel like Silex, his characterization in particular, suffered from that. That being said, I feel like there's definitely a lot you could pull from for what you see to use in Smash. Like there's different
Yeah.
attacks. He's got voice lines. Hi. Not much, but he's got something.
He's got a petty ass grudge that's really, really not justified.
Yeah, and I hope they expand on that in Prime 5 because this is gonna be a Prime 5. Come on.
I think as soon as they finish Prime 4, they immediately start work on Prime 5.
Most
Yeah.
certainly.
So he survives Prime 4.
Well,
You
we
might
don't
say,
actually
oh,
know.
but they could do DLC, but Metroid doesn't really do DLC.
Yeah, there's no point to do DLC. Like if they're going to do anything with DLC, it would be a side story from Silux's perspective, which could be interesting, honestly. But to answer your question,
Considering throughout the whole game he's just kind of stuck in a pod, I guess you're not going to get a side story from.
why not? I'm not saying it takes place during Prime 4. I'm saying show us the story from the flashback scenes. Let us play through that.
That would be
You gotta
interesting.
think outside the box, Twilix.
Oh, I'm good at that.
The literal one.
But again, to answer your question, Jonno, you asked, does that mean Sonic survives Prime 4? We actually don't know.
Yeah, his fate is left ambiguous.
The game ends with Samus trying to activate a teleportation device, Silex trying to get to her to stop her, but then Samus's the Galactic Federation allies that are there are able to hold Silex back, Samus teleports away, and then we don't see anything else that happened on that planet. We just see Samus do something on the new planet she's on, and then we cut the credits. There's no scene showing the fates of Silex or the other Federation troopers. Now,
No wonder it's controversial after all that waiting on
yeah,
the cliffhanger.
I think the obvious answer is that depending
Piece of
on
life.
how well Silex is received after this game, will depend on whether Silex comes back or not. Personally, I think he's going to come back. Now, will the Federation troopers come back, or are they dead? Who knows?
I think it's a very high chance that they're dead.
At the very
But-
least, some of them are. There might be one or two that lives.
I could see some ways that they could have them survive.
Mhm.
Like, I know that during development they wanted to have time travel be part of it, but they just could not make it work for some reason. Hence why the
Really?
final
Yeah.
area is called Chrono Tower, but there's
Mm.
nothing to do with time manipulation, so it just feels a little odd.
I do recall that because when you were ready to do the final sequence, you let me know. It's like, hey, come watch me beat the game. It's like, okay. And I go up there, I see this place called Chrono Tower, and then I immediately start thinking, it's like, uh-oh, we're going to see time bullshit? We might see time bullshit. Maybe that teleporter wasn't a teleporter. Maybe that was a time travel device, and we just don't know it yet.
True.
Maybe Samus
I
went
definitely
into
feel
the
like it was
past already.
intended to be, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's very possible. And while I was watching you do that final boss fight against Silex, I was taking mental notes. I was like, oh, that could be an attack. Oh, that's down special, maybe. I could see something working there. So I've got ideas on how Silex could work as a fighter. But that's not the point of this discussion. The point of this is to determine how likely we think it is for Silex to become a playable character the next Smash Brothers game. Most recent game, big appearance, maybe not as big as people thought he was going to be, but still the main villain of the game. Previously, Ravenbeak was once upon a time the most recent villain, and we scored him. Actually, we never did him in a rate their chances. Never mind. Apparently, we didn't do that. I don't see him in the list, so I would have scored him personally. But considering kind of some of what we talked about with Miascarada, has Ravenbeak's chances now been lost now that Prime 4 is out, and Silas is the potential character that can take that spot? If this was like a Prime 1 where there wasn't really a main antagonist that you're fighting throughout the game that could work really as a fighter, well, maybe we could go back to the Ravenbeak well, but Silex does fit that model.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that Ravenbeak's chances are not high with Silex in the picture now.
Yeah.
Like, if Ravenbeak had been in more than one game, that might be different. But Silex was in the Hunters and was teased in Prime 3 in an after credit scene, and now he is the main antagonist ish in Prime 4. I say ish.
I mean, he's still the main antagonist.
Does not have as much presence as he should have.
I mean,
yes.
Right.
Main antagonists don't necessarily always have the big presence. Bowser, you technically don't see Bowser until the very end of Mario, but he's still the main antagonist.
Fair.
Same with Ganon.
Perhaps some dampening. I feel like Metroid Prime 4. It's one of those games. It's like Duke Nukem Forever. If Duke Nukem Forever were good, like it's stuck in this development hell. There's a lot of mythos and like legend built around it, leading up into the release, waiting for 18 years for it to come out. There's bound to be like some level of like, wow, this is somewhat disappointing. It's like the Smash speculation scene where it's like some elements of like trying to guess how the next Smash is going to work is more fulfilling and interesting and entertaining than the game actually coming out. To be honest with you,
I'm with you. I'm honestly with you.
Mm-hmm.
I will
So
say I wasn't disappointed, but that's not to say that I don't have my criticisms.
Oh yeah.
Because I had a thoroughly good time playing.
Awesome. Yeah, I do want to pick it up at some point. I just need to find the time. Like I still haven't beaten Bonanza. That's a me problem. Yeah, but just diluting it back down, still like this massively hyped, long time want for this game to come out. It's finally out. It's a big deal. Silas's fate is ambiguous. He was the main antagonist of the game. Ravenbeak died. You know, there's no real chance unless we to have him realistically come back in a game.
No. Even if they
yeah,
do
I feel
a
like
game
Silas
previously
is-
in the timeline, that then those time really makes sense to involve Ravenbeak again.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Um, yeah.
Raven
I
Beak
feel like
origin
Silas is,
story. No.
yeah. There you go. Metroid Prime 5. Anthony Higgs joins Samus on the hunt for Silas. Hence his line in Other M. Remember me. It's like, remember when I helped you defeat Silas.
If Prime 5 happens and Anthony is there and he says, "Remember me," I will not be mad.
So down. I am so down for that. Besides fantasizing about a world where Anthony Higgs joins Smash Brothers, you know, Silex is the new hot thing. I think it's fairly likely that he will get into Smash. He probably has the best odds out of any character that we talked about today. I'm encroaching on. Oh my god! Yeah, dude, 90%.
The timing works perfectly for Silex. If the next Smash game is being worked on right now, and again I have to say if Sakurai is wanting to add another character for the Metroid franchise, or also who knows what's happening with the roster, because we could be getting this like sweeping cuts and then adding in some new things. Like honestly, Zero Suit Samus could easily go. Easily. I think
Yeah.
Samus is safe. I think Ridley has a good chance of sticking around. But then Silex, if you're wanting another character from Metroid, I forgot about Dark Samus. What Dark Samus?
That's okay.
I kind of feel 50-50 on if Dark Samus would get cut or not, is if they're doing sweeping cuts, because Dark Samus could be made unique, but also is currently an Echo and also easy to bring back as an Echo. But Silex makes the most sense. It used to be Ravenbeak, but newest villain. Presumably, Smash is being worked on right now. This is the game that you would primarily look at. You said 90. Twilix, what number are you thinking?
Yeah, I'll say 90.
Okay. I was initially thinking 80, but I think I'm going to bump that up. I don't think I want to go to 90, but I'll go to 85.
Yep.
So that'll bring it out to 88.3% chance of being playable.
Nice. The likeliest of them all at the moment.
So far, and easily, oh my god. Super Cast Brothers wide of all the characters we've done across each season, starting in season 3, of course, Silex is now number 3 on the list overall.
Mm-hmm.
The only two characters that are above Silex are Tom Nook and Octoling. And I think I stand by that.
Right now, that those three will be in the next Smash.
It'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
But now that we've gone through all that, Rate the Chances is over. It's time to transition into what this episode is actually named after. Although, funnily enough, since we started doing Rate the Chances, it takes more time than the main thing.
I was thinking that too, yeah.
Oh, well.
As it goes.
Let's get to some Smash or Dash. Now, this episode of Smash or Dash, we've actually punted this episode down the line so many times. This episode was supposed to be in like season 6. No, not season 6. This is season 7. It was like I think it was originally planned for season 4 or season 5, and we just had to keep punting it down the line for other things that were happening. But we're finally getting to do this one. This episode is these set of matchups are themed around avatar characters in big open world games. Characters that you choose who they are, you choose what they look like, you choose how they fight, you choose what they do. Everything is up to you. First off, from the Elder Scrolls, we have the Dragonborn. Specifically, I guess, the last Dragonborn. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, a game that has been ported, it had more versions than possibly any other game besides Tetris.
The fridge version.
The fucking fridge version, the Alexa version, Jesus feckin' Christ.
The Switch 2 version that was unoptimized and given like a 40% on Metacritic.
And will never
Good
be
times.
fixed.
It's
I
Bethesda.
think they're
Of course
releasing
they
patches now, but yeah, it's not going to be fixed per se.
Bethesda doesn't
Yeah.
fix things.
Bethesda only makes problems.
And I say that affectionately.
I'm glad somebody can. All right, well, Twilix, as our resident Elder Scrolls and Skyrim knowledge person, give us a general overall rundown, relatively brief, on the Dragonborn, who they are, why they exist, and a little bit of what they can do.
So, the last Dragonborn in Skyrim. To explain what a Dragonborn is, it's basically a mortal who has a dragon soul. Which, okay, what does that mean?
You.
Glad you asked. Basically, they're the only people that can permanently kill dragons. You kill a dragon, they can just kind of come back later, I guess, because they're some sort of lesser god, I guess. Yeah. But the
Cool.
Dragonborn, when they kill a dragon, they can absorb their soul, and they will never come back.
Interesting.
Okay.
And they're the whole prophesized thing to kill a specific god dragon that wants to eat the world.
You leave Spyro out of this.
No.
Oh, Shinryu? Oh, we can kill Shinryu. Fuck that guy. And fuck Neo Shinryu even more. Fuck that fight. Oh my
As
God.
for what they do, that's a lot. Yes, is the answer.
That's gonna be
They
the
string
answer
it,
for
right?
all
You can
4 of the
string it on.
characters today.
You could be a stealth archer, you could be a berserker with a big sword, be a full mage, you could be a coward that hides behind companions and summons and doesn't do anything that actually fights.
Ooh, I like
If you
that
really
option.
want to. Be a sneaky assassin. You could be a werewolf, you could be a vampire, but you can't be both.
Yeah.
The-
And you know, I think too that that this is an avatar character that's representative of like all the different races of Skyrim and Elder Scrolls. So I think like this character can be a composite. You have like a human dragonborn, a Khajiit dragonborn, an Argonian dragonborn, and they can all kind of be. You can play as all those like color swap skins.
Personally, I would love that.
Another thing that sets the Dragonborn unique from a regular person is they have access to what's called the voice, which is basically speaking in the dragon language. It's words of power, kind of. You combine 3 words together and boom, special powerful magic effect, like just launching everything in a tunnel in front of you, far away,
Jigglypuff.
lighting things on fire, freezing. You can slow time. You
I think
you
the
can
most iconic.
you can
Yeah.
you can be like, hey, that dragon, get down here. You're grounded,
Come
sir.
over here. Yeah, Fuzz Roda, as they say.
Otherwise known as Unrelenting Force. So something I like when I look at the information on the Dragon Shouts, like everything is in 3 syllables, but then each syllable means certain words. So like Fusroda is force, balance, push. So you're using a powerful force to push someone off balance.
Mm-hmm.
And like a normal person can learn some of these words and use them, but Dragonborn, it's like 1,000 times easier.
Yeah.
It's just natural to them.
So we have a character who can use a variety of different martial weaponry, can cast spells, and can use special dragon shouts. A lot to pull from, essentially.
Yeah.
Similarly, the Dragonborn's opponent, a character who is who from another medieval and dark open world Avatar franchise, the Chosen Undead from Dark Souls. Now, I want to specify something here because in researching for this episode, I found out that each of the 3 Dark Souls games has a different title for the protagonist. Dark Souls 1 is the Chosen Undead. Dark Souls 2 is Bearer of the Curse. Dark Souls 3 is the Ashen One. The way we are going to be approaching this is while we are using the Chosen Undead name and appearance, we are using this as like a composite character, kind of like as John mentioned earlier, Solid Snake and Big Boss are technically rolled into one to create the Snake character that is in Smash Brothers. So anything that Bearer of the Curse or Ashenwind can do, we are saying that Chosen Undead would be able to pull from for their Smash Brothers character, because that just kind of makes sense. Like, we're not going to get Chosen Undead, Bearer of the Curse, and Ashenwind all as different characters in Smash. That is wild and crazy. And also, I think for the most part, they're all kind of similar. It's just like they have probably some different weaponry or tools that they have that maybe not all of them get. But for the most part, I mean,
Indeed, and this is another character who, like everyone we're going to be talking about today, as alluded to earlier, there's a lot that Chosen Undead can do. I haven't played these games, just for the quick introduction. From what I recall or understand about kind of like the background and history and lore of Dark Souls, is that this is a character, a warrior who is unable to die completely. They've been cursed with the dark sign, and that prevents them from dying. And they have this indomitable will to continue on their quest, which brings that, kind of sets the groundwork for Dark Souls. They kind of look and interact with the world like a standard knight. It looks like, from aesthetically speaking, but there's a number of different weapons you can use, magic spells across like anima and light and dark magic that are interesting and not always like prototypical RPG type of work. And then of course Dark Souls is also known for having a very, like, most impeccably known for creating the Souls like action RPG subgenre, where like Metroidvania, Dark Souls has become so heavily associated with developing the style of gameplay that it's like their bosses and even some of their standard like enemies and dungeons and areas are just like hard. They're experientially difficult for most players to get through on the first try. So you're repeating these practices, figuring out a new way of strategizing each time that you die to figure out how to like best these areas. And the combat is really involved. There's different types of like parries and rolls and ways to fight to to make you use your big old brain muscle to overcome like bosses and stuff. So I mean, Dark Souls has gone well beyond Dark Souls, and well beyond like Namco, into like Nioh and Wukong, and so
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, to a degree, like even like other games that are easier, but still kind of follow that combat instruction, like Ghost of Tsushima,
Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16 to a degree.
No,
So,
that's Final
ish,
Fantasy 16 is
ish.
not a Souls-like, but with Stranger of Paradise is.
Which one was? Oh, let's see.
I'm Here to Kill Chaos. That
Oh
one.
yeah, I mean, there you go. But yeah, there you go. There's the guy.
All right, so we have 2 medieval-ish warriors. Similar deals between the 2 of them. They're both they were a dude, and then they find out that they're a special dude. One of them woke up on a cart. The other one woke up from what they had thought was going to be their final rest, and well, unfortunately for them, it wasn't. A lot of medieval a lot of melee weaponry. They got some range. They both got some magic. They both there aren't really classes necessarily in Skyrim, but you can do all kinds of wild builds. But Dark Souls has several classes between the warrior, the knight, the wanderer, thief, bandit. How those two are different, I don't know. Hunter, sorcerer, pyromancer, cleric, and the deprived. And if I'm looking at things correctly, I think all three Dark Souls games have the same classes. Uh, they probably have some differences between each game, like they change some properties of each one, but they all have like the same classes in them, and maybe some game cleric gets a few more tools or swordsman gets nerfed. I don't fucking know. I would predict that with both of these characters, I don't think they would do a whole lot with magic on either side. Like I think they might get like one thing of magic. Maybe there'll be like a magic smash attack or one special move. But I think my prediction is that with Dragonborn specifically, they're going to focus more heavily on the dragon shouts. At the very least, Fuss for Dot is either a standard special or the final smash. And Chosen Undead is probably going to be more just doing a bunch of different sword technique animations. I think there's going to be more martial really for both characters. Just my prediction. I could be completely wrong. Maybe they go full magic build for Chosen Undead, or Dragonborn could be a full sneaky rogue with a bow. There's no way to predict this. They both have way too many tools to deal with. There's a reason why I have not made a move for the Dragonborn, even though I've thought about it. It's like, where the fuck do you start narrowing this shit down? Holy shit. There's so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's so you get so far into the weeds with these characters because there are so many ways to build and develop them to your specific play style, to your specific wants, to the story that you want to tailor, because they are just purely avatar based characters that you use to navigate these worlds. I think for the sake of not pulling hairs, like it's like, thank goodness this isn't a Smash W episode where we really had to get into diving into how to figure this out and just having like 4 base special moves. Extra skill in final smash as well, but even then, 6 moves and like umpteen different types of weapons and magic, like ways to build your stats, it's overwhelming to consider it. My hat would be off to Sakurai and that development team if they were to go in that direction and have either of these guys.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like a Steve level endeavor to accurately depict whoever, whichever one of these guys would theoretically get through into Smash. That being said, I think that what you end up comparing is kind of, at least in my mind, like the legacy of these franchises, like Elder Scrolls and Dark Souls being like these major entities, these two individual, like Dark Souls, the 1, 2, and 3, Skyrim being ported everywhere, being one of the best selling games of all time, like within the top 10. Like you kind of begin picking and choosing, and then like also like considering things like, Bethesda hasn't had a character yet in the game. Namco technically has. You can go by that logic and say, I want to have like a brand new company represented, kind of edgeways through Microsoft anyway in the game.
Oh shit. Namco published Dark Souls.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've only ever heard FromSoft discussed with Dark Souls. Who owns the IP? I thought it was FromSoft that owned it. Okay, Namco owns the trademark for Dark Souls, but FromSoft owns the Dark Souls IP. Neither of them can make a Dark Souls game without the other. So Smash would need to talk to both to get permission for Chosen Undead. Interesting.
Yeah.
If this was to rate their chances, this would make me turn my chances of Chosen Undead lower, because now there's multiple hands that need to approve every detail with Chosen Undead. Huh.
Yeah.
Although, conversely, Dark Souls, like it's on the Switch. Like there's an effort to.
Apparently, Namco also owns, well, Witcher and Cyberpunk.
Huh.
What?
Not CD Projekt Red.
What? That's news to me. I didn't even know Namco.
According to this one person that's saying this, I don't know if that's true or not, but supposedly. I don't know. Either
They
way,
were the distributor for The Witcher 3 in Europe. Yeah, this is getting sticky. I don't know what's going on.
yeah, I have no idea. But
Well, that's
I think both
yeah.
both these characters, like I've not played either of the I have not played the games for either of the four games we're discussing today. I don't really plan to play either of the four games because it's just not my general style. But I can respect all four that we'll be talking about today. Like, okay, these are all big name things. I could see it happening. There's just so much that you have to so many tools, so many spells, so many weapons, so many techniques that you gotta boil it down to a limited amount. You can't do like Capcom did with Dante in Marvel's Capcom 3 and give him triple the amount of special moves that every other character has. It doesn't really work in Smash. Or does it? Fucking Kazuya Mishima. Kazuya Mishima
Yeah.
breaking the rules.
Right. Right.
So theoretically,
And
another Namco character.
hmm
But what do we think about these two in terms of what? Like I technically I have more connection because I just have a more general knowledge of Skyrim and Elder Scrolls in general and the Dragonborn than I do the Chosen Undead and Souls as a genre.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Dark Souls either, so that's why I haven't really said much to the conversation. I don't have much to add as far as Dark Souls is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I also this might be a quick one because I'm also leaning in the direction of Skyrim now. And I haven't played Dark Souls. I've been interested in playing Elden Ring in particular. That world seems interesting, but it's limited time. Limited
Yeah.
time. It's a system. It's like a whole other gameplay system that you really have to commit to building yourself into because it could it feels like it can frankly be demeaning at first, and you need to really go into it. Um, but I did play a little bit. I'm not an Elder Scrolls expert like Twilix at all, but I did play through a generous amount of Skyrim way back in the day on the 360. Remember when Microsoft used to make game consoles?
No,
Anyway,
I think they make
What's an
advertising
Xbox?
machines. They
right.
make
I-
AI advertising machines.
uh, but but yeah, I mean, it's an interesting world that you inhabit, and what gives me this lean though, kind of over the Chosen Undead, is that yeah, there's a very good likelihood that you are committing with the Chosen Undead to a moveset style that is reflective of the Souls like melee combat. So you are doing a lot of like parry heavy, like roll, dodge, like having like these different stance changes and like heavy, low mid hits. Like it's all very technical, which is interesting to me conceptually because we don't have anything really quite like that in Smash yet. Um, and then you do pepper in like the different spells, like you have like the typical anima magic with the fireballs and the ice, and but the way that they, based on like the light reading that I did before this episode, the way that they execute it is a little different than normal. There's a teleportation spell where he's like enveloped in a ball of light, and that light does damage from place to place. So it's like, okay, it's teleportation, but it's different, right? So I can respect that sort of effort is being put into the character to kind of pull it away from some of the RPG build and archetype. But Skyrim, its influence is perhaps even heavier than Dark Souls, which is crazy to say because Dark Souls is such an influential game. Um, but it's the seventh best-selling game of all time. It's and it also just again just the world, the different races that you can potentially play as with the character are appealing to me, because you can get way out there. Like I'm playing as a lizard man instead, or whatever. And it's like whoa. And again with the lizards, what really seals the deal for me is like yeah, the dragon speech, having like kind of like spells being attached to the words of our draconian overlords. That is particularly unique, and not many other characters have that capability. All none to my knowledge.
Well, funny you mention it. So Dragonborn's big dragon shout is Fasrada, right? The big forceful yell. You want to know what one of the spells that the chosen undead has access to?
Buzz Roda.
This quickly acting miracle inflicts no damage, propels foes back, and defends against arrows. Called Force. It's called Force. So they basically they both have Fasrada. This amuses me greatly.
Indeed, but Force is just like so much less interesting of a name. Come on, man.
Wow. Star Wars fans are getting in a riot right now.
Oh, yeah. What else is new?
The
No one
Toy
takes
Story
Star Wars
fans
more
are
than Star
rioting
Wars
right now? Is that considered new?
I don't know.
Listen,
I
man,
don't know.
Toy Story 5 doesn't make sense to exist. Hey, look, guys, Woody is here in this, as the main character. It's like, didn't you have Woody explicitly leave the cast, the fourth movie? The fuck? How is Woody here? This makes no sense.
I guess we'll have to find out another day.
I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
They're just not going to
But the
address it.
leapfrog character.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's come to a decision here. They both have so much they can do. They both have their weapon spells. They have their unique rolls and parries. Chosen Dead is absolutely going to have some kind of counter technique. They can both do magic, both in terms like magic spells. And I know Chosen Dead has magical items that they can use. I don't know what Dragonborn does. But Dragonborn also has their shouts. Dark Souls magic comes in 1 of 3 forms of miracles, pyromancers, and sorceries. So that's 2 magical classes and 1 that's magical items. So they kind of have that. They're equal in their competitive ability. I would love to see Death Battle take these 2 on against each other. Show me that fight. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But who are we gonna put as a playable character in Smash, and whose hopes will we dash? Twilix.
I vote Last Dragonborn.
Obvious. That's why I asked you first. Jonno.
I will start by saying if this were Rayloth of Riverward versus Solera of Astora, I would have my vote more firmly locked in. But in this case, where we have to pepper a kiss into the wind towards Dragonborn or the Chosen Undead and bless them with our admittance into this theoretical Smash world, I would say also Dragonborn.
All right. And then I will round things out with my vote for the Dragonborn. Nothing against Chosen Dev. I think, though, this is partly a lack of knowledge versus more knowledge, really. But they both could do, relatively speaking, about the same type of thing. So they're kind of the same character when you don't have a lot of knowledge. If we had knowledge, this might be a more interesting discussion, but unfortunately, we can't have knowledge about every video game and every video game character. And when they're wiki, when they have so many different things to read about, it's kind of hard to get that high level of research.
Yeah,
just how things are.
Yeah.
So Dragonborn survives, and we'll see them again in the Tournament of Champions at the end of the season. But now it's time for our second matchup of the episode, the last matchup. Whereas with the last 2 characters, things were quite a bit more medieval and set, well, not necessarily in the past, because, they're different worlds. So it was definitely a past European medieval-like setting. These next 2 characters are in the future. One, but both future, where I'll be dead, for sure. One more distantly than the other, though. So, first of all, we have the Vault Dweller of the Fallout franchise. Now, I would like to specifically mention something again, that while I'm saying Vault Dweller, this is technically what the protagonists of Fallout 1 and Fallout 76 are called. Other Fallout games use a different title to refer to their characters. Fallout 2 has the Chosen One. Fallout Tactics has the Warrior. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel has the Initiate. Fallout 3 has the Lone Wanderer. New Vegas has the Courier. Fallout 4 has the Sole Survivor. We are like how we talked about with the Chosen Undead and how they're going to be like a composite character. They can take anything from the characters of 2 and 3. While we're using the name Vault Dweller, this is the composite of the protagonists of any of the Fallout games. So anything one of them can do as a character in their game, we're saying that we can pull from for this, because otherwise that would just be kind of wild and crazy. So, Twilix, would you like to speak about the I'm getting thrown off here by what I'm seeing happening in Jonno's camera.
Go ahead and share your thoughts.
The Vault.
I'm then Jonathan.
Yeah, let's just probably gonna say like what a terrible thing to be. Elsa, everybody.
Yeah, I'm so bad.
No, you should not be embarrassed to be on this show. I'm not most days.
I kind of am sometimes.
He said he kind of.
I just hear.
Oh no! Hey, be proud of it. Be proud of it.
No, it's not because of the show. It's because of Jonno.
He's gonna say he's because of me.
Being mean is his modus operandi.
Hey, you can get out.
And that was a special guest, Jonno's coworker. I think. Yeah. I'm assuming boss, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, a coworker.
Okay.
Joke. Yeah. Lovely individual.
Twilix, what can you tell us? I know you have not played every Fallout game, but what can you tell us about the Vault Dwellers or protagonists just in general in the Fallout world?
So, for the most part, the protagonists of the Fallout games, they start in a vault, which is basically this facility that was built with intention to weather a nuclear apocalypse, and successful, mostly. There's a whole thing where
every
the
vault
company
has a different gimmick.
Not everyone, but most of them do have a little experiment that's being run, the ethics of which are questionable at best.
But when the government is gone and the world is over, what are ethics?
Yeah.
That's great.
Such as one vault that's just one guy in a box of puppets and there's nobody else.
What? I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah. There's a vault where they vote for a leader and then the leader has to die.
Oh.
So
hey, that sounds great.
They're saying, "Hey, vote for this person, not me. I don't want to be in charge." So the whole thing only ended when they just refused to vote for someone, and then it's like, "Okay, now you can leave." They're just like, "What?"
That is some Lord of the Flies side bullshit.
There's a vault where it's like, "Okay, you're gonna be living here for now. Now get in this pod. It'll be fine," and everyone gets frozen.
Isn't that Fallout 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Fallout 4.
I was like, because I know how the intro to that game starts.
There's another vault where it's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, there's this water processing chip or something, and we're gonna actually design it so it will break after a while and force them to have to go out and get it fixed or replaced, because fuck them." So, all that to say,
isn't there one that's like the harem vault?
To be honest, I just
like
want
there's one
to
that's like
lore,
one dude and a bunch of women in it. Isn't that one of them?
Yeah, then they have the opposite. Where
Yeah,
it's a bunch of guys and one woman, and that probably is about as well as you think.
Very, very poorly.
God. Wow. Twists and turns abound in this post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
Fallout.
Anywho,
Fallout
So
7. Like, yeah.
the whole
60
thing with
stuff.
Fallout is that it's a sort of a retro futuristic kind of setting where it takes place in the future, but it looks like like really old
it's a few steps above
depictions of the
steampunk.
future. Yeah,
It's like SteamWorld Dig.
Is that not
it's
steampunk?
nuclear punk, post-nuclear punk. Yeah, sure. I'm probably wrong, but that's what I'm
Honestly,
gonna call it.
post-nuclear punk does not sound like a bad descriptor as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Like there's robots,
Well-
there's laser weapons.
There's ghouls.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into what that is, unless you want me to.
It's a guy with a
I
bad
could be
skin
here all
condition, as far
day.
as I know. That's all I know about it.
Radiation.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
bad
Rolling
skin
back to
condition.
the beginning of this episode,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you get the dosage of radiation right, you become immortal, but you're also basically a rotting walking corpse.
Poor Walter Goggins.
So you're probably gonna go insane after a while.
It's like a sci-fi Smeagol.
Maybe.
Speaking of not sci-fi
I think we're a little
Smeagol,
off
because
track.
that's a terrifying kind of thought. Let's talk about the Vault Dweller's opponent here in this episode. Whereas we have a character from a retro-futuristic time period in the... Hang on, I forgot. I was looking at a thing. Oh god. Wait, when did the bombs drop in Fallout? I'm trying to find that information. Apparently the protagonist from the first game was born in the year 2141, so the bombs dropped after that point. But I don't know when it actually occurs. I don't know. But in another game named for its year, the year 2077, we have V. Whether that's Valerie or Vincent is up to you, of Cyberpunk 2077.
Which contrasts with the other, with most of the other of these kind of sandbox game characters, where V actually has a defined character. It's just there's different ways you can kind of steer it a little bit.
Yeah.
Interesting. What are some of the... I haven't played a whole lot of Fallout to be able to say either way, but especially Cyberpunk I have not played. I have very little knowledge of it behind the whole... besides the whole Keanu meme with like, oh, you're amazing. So yeah, what kind of general capabilities do you think V would have in a game like Smash?
So the thing that Vault Dweller and V have in common is they both use guns and melee weapons. What V has separate is the cyberware, which, oh hey, yeah, I can punch hard enough to just actually dislodge concrete blocks, no problem. I could literally punch your head off and not feel a thing. You could have it so that they have a grenade launcher attached to their wrist that just
Ooh.
pops out from the inside. I don't want to imagine how that feels. And then you got blades that can come out of your wrists as well. The mantis blade. You
Yeah.
can slice around with that.
Mhm.
You could jump around like with a double jump or just like a super jump. There's a speed boost kind of deal.
Mhm. That sounds pretty sick. Like I would be
Aren't
into
there
this kind of thing.
One of the later updates added air dashing.
aren't there also classes in Cyberpunk?
No. Like, there's different ways you can take your character, but there's not classes specifically.
I thought there was like some kind of like
So,
a skill
like,
tree
I
like
don't know.
system or something.
There is, yes. but it's not really a class system.
Okay.
Like another thing that sets V apart from Vault Dweller is they have what are called quick hack,
Mhm.
which it's basically just like remote hacking.
Hmm.
Just look at something, you can make it turn on or off. You can hack people.
Oh.
You can. There's one where you're just like, all right, you go to sleep. You put a gun to your head. Yeah,
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
And
I'm gonna
interesting.
give you a shock and you're gonna fall to the ground.
Okay. Cool. Interesting.
You're gonna go blind.
Interesting. So I wonder how they could do something like that in Smash. Like, like Mewtwo has a pretty just standard telekinesis kind of thing. I wonder if it would work similarly to that.
I think there's some you could make work, but a lot couldn't really.
Mhm. Do
It's
you think
designed
that
for a
Vault
different kind of
Dweller,
game.
like what would Vault Dweller have going for them, perhaps unique to their character?
Uh, bigger
Just
guns
slight
for one.
I
Bigger
think
ordnance.
Yeah.
I feel like Vulture would be
'Cause-
like the different types of like large, wild, crazy guns. Because throughout, like, they're the two main things that, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Twilix. The two big main things that would set Dweller apart as like their signature things are one, the Pip Boy, but that doesn't really work in Smash because you can't just target really and see like, oh, you have a 30% chance of hitting this or 75% chance of hitting that. That really wouldn't work in this kind of game. But then there's also the power armor. That's the big thing that I think would be the signature ability equipment for Vault Dweller. But I feel like that would be stayed for the final Smash.
I would say the
Okay.
final smash would be the Fat Man, which, for those not familiar or need a refresher, it's basically a catapult that shoots a football-sized nuke.
Oh God.
So the Vault Dweller has bigger ordnance, bigger guns, bigger booms, missile launchers, chain guns, Gatling guns, plasma weapons, a whole Gatling laser.
Mhm.
V would be more mobile, I would say. A lot more zipping around and shooting.
Right. Right.
Well, Vault Dweller is more of a tank.
Interesting. Interesting. And both of these franchises also have celebrated TV shows now.
Yeah,
Off the side. Interesting.
I just watched episode 1 of season 2 for Fallout today.
Cyberpunk has a
Nice.
TV show?
Yeah. An animated
Yeah,
episode.
Edge Runners.
Oh, okay. I remember hearing something about that.
Mhm. And both characters' names start with V. One of them's name is only V, theoretically.
Well, it's the nickname. It's a short nickname for them because either Valerie or Victor.
Right. And you can name your Vault Dweller and Fallout V.
Yeah, sure could.
Whoa.
Good.
Interesting. I do have my lean now, I think, after hearing kind of like the address on both of them. Thanks, Trillix, for running that down too.
Yeah.
What's in old Zantok's brain? Any additional context, or you think that we're good to go on a vote?
I mean, I'm scrolling through this thing just to kind of see like different kinds of equipment that they have. So while there's like a variety of different weapons under each weapon type, at least for V, weapons come under there's pistols, revolvers, submachine guns, shotguns, assault rifles, light and heavy machine guns, precision and sniper rifles. But then also for melee weapons, there's various types of blades, blunt weapons, and things that you can throw. Grenades. There's cyberware weapons, which I'm trying to see what the fuck that really means. It's a whole different page. God dang it.
That's the Mantis Blades, the Gorilla Arms, which is the Punchy Fist. There's the
Ah,
Mono Wire,
so
like a laser whip.
Like Android, Android.
man, I would have the fucking. I would have a cyberpunk character just be like, okay, give me all the cyberpunk modifications as your weapons. Don't do the fucking basic guns. Give me the fucking whip that comes out of your arm and other weird shit. That'd be more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And Smash, they could.
Do a punch and you end up electrifying people? Fuck yes. Have a blade pop out of your arm like you're fucking Baraka? Jesus Christ. Of course, some of these can't really work. Like, okay, the Sentry Eyeball doesn't really work for Smash. That would not do anything.
Sentry eyeball.
Well, I'm assuming it's an eyeball based on the picture. It's called a Sentry. Effect active when scanning. Highlights cameras and turrets within 15 to 39 meters.
Ah. Yeah.
Anything optical is not gonna work as a thing in Smash because that wouldn't do shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Vault Dweller.
That actually gives me an idea. Because normally the quick hacks you have to do a different. You have to flip your like a certain vision on to
Mhm.
be able to upload hacks onto people. But one later updates made it so you can do that with using the monowire to hit people with, and it uploads hacks like that. That would be very interesting mechanic.
Mm. And then over on Vault Dweller, they've also got your standard guns. There's various pistols, rifles, shotguns, pipe weapons. Okay, heavy weapons. These are all still like gun things. One is called the junk jet. Oh, there's also minigun. There's the and granted, I'm looking specifically at the Fallout 4 weapons because it's the most recent traditional console game. I'm not looking at Fallout 76 stuff. But there's also there's laser guns, various laser guns. There's plasma guns, the alien atomizer. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's aliens in
the
Fallout.
BFG 9000. I thought this was fucking Fallout, not Doom.
Wait, BFG?
Yeah, BFG 9000 is in Fallout 4.
I thought this was
That's probably a
Fallout,
Creation
not
Club
a
thing.
Roald Dahl book.
Oh,
Oh,
it
I
is
see.
a Creation Club thing. Oh, from the Doom. Okay, so yeah, it's literally just a Doom thing. Thirst Zapper? That sounds terrifying. And then there's radiation.
It's
weapons,
just
the
it's
gamma
literally
gun,
a water gun.
an acid soaker, poison weapon. Then there's explosives. There's a baseball grenade, cryo grenades, Molotovs, homing beacons, persuasion grenade. That's interesting. You can place mines. There's traps. Then you have your melee weapons as well. Like there's a variety of blades, knives, axes, swords.
A baseball
Shish
bat with
kebab.
rocket jets attached.
What the bitch is that thing?
Oh, the shish kebab is a fire sword.
It's a fucking wild, is what it is. I like it. And then, of course, you can have blunt weapons. There's baseball bats. There's pipes. There's batons. The commie whacker. It's one of those like those like foam boppy stick things.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just one of those.
Instead of whack-a-mole, it's whack-a-commie.
There's Piper, just a rolling pin. That's fucking funny. A walking cane, a tire iron, boxing gloves. There's a variety of weapons. A fucking meat hook. There's some weird shit. I just wanted to make sure I went through to see like what all the different weapons were. The vast majority of these would not be used in Smash, obviously, for either character. But there's, again, like with Chosen and Dead, like with I'm blanking. Dragonborn, thank you. There's a lot of options.
Yeah. If I were going for Vault Dweller in particular, I would really lean in on like the weird, like the wackier comedic bizarre angle that appeals to me.
I
and
feel
you kind of
it's-
get it in like that pseudo like 1950s aesthetic too, that they do with like the Vault Boy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing with both these characters, and anytime you're assessing a character that is all about guns and what they could potentially do in a game like Smash is, you have to be like, okay, yes, they can use guns, cool. They all can use pistols and shotguns, rifles. This is not unique. What do they have that is unique? That's where
Right.
you look.
Mm-hmm.
Like Halo, it's like, okay, cool. Master Chief, yeah, cool. He can use the pistol and the rifle. Yay. But you know what's interesting? The energy sword, the plasma grenades. That's where you would look with Halo. You're not going to give him the basic ass human guns. Even though that might make that's what he uses more because he human technically, but where there's nothing exciting about that.
Right. I heard the new Halo was getting lambasted a little bit for like having too many talkative NPCs.
Anyways, getting off of that bait, V and Vault Dweller. How are we feeling between the two of them? Because I feel like I have a lean, but I think both have interesting tools.
See ya.
But are you taking it tomorrow?
What's tomorrow? Sunday. Are you here tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
That's...
Like real thing.
Oh, well, you have fun with that. I may or may not see you. We'll see.
Okay. Are you going to the party?
No, probably not. I'm gonna just wrap up here and head home. I got a ship tomorrow at like 7. So.
Yeah, well, I'm not going either. I'm going to sleep. And well,
Me too.
if I see you or not tomorrow, not then. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, Lister.
Happy Hollandaise?
Yes. I gave it away. We're recording around Christmas time.
Who cares? We record in bulk when we
Ho
can.
ho ho.
Because schedules
Ho,
are a
ho.
bitch this time
Ho.
of year. So,
Mm,
again, as I was
I-
saying,
love Santa.
how do we feel about these two and who we would pick?
I personally would pick V, mostly because you could do more of the mobility and the cyberware. I think that would be more fun. Whereas I see Vault Dweller as if you don't want to be generic person with guns, you gotta have them be more of a tank that just kind of blasts things, like
Mhm.
slower moving but heavier hitter.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That makes sense to me too.
Jonno, what do you think?
I'm in lockstep with Twilix again. My vote is going for V. And I decided that a little, earlier on in the discussion, when Twilix is going over like the cyberware, like having all that stuff built into your body to attack with is very interesting and unique to Smash. The Vault Roller, I mean, it became more interesting the more we delved into like the wiki that you were reading off of with the more unique weaponry. Twilix mentioned the giant catapult thing. Like I
The
like
Batman.
the yeah. I like the wacky element to that. Um, but I also think that there are not necessarily characters that have all of that available to them, but there's still like functionally that like avatar character with all of this stuff available, like just like the variety. So V is more of a character who can feel a little more contained with like the cyberware being like this primary thing, just makes it more feasible in my mind to grasp. So that's where my vote is coming from.
All right. And my vote doesn't matter. But I will also be going for V. Initially going into this, I thought I was going to go for the Vault Dweller because it's like, oh, they've got some weird and interesting weapons, and the power armor could be interesting to see how we'll get that to work out. But reading more about like what V can do besides just like the basic guns, with all the different cyberware and whatnot, just like all the modifications that you could do. Maybe you could even have something where I don't know how feasible this would be, but maybe you could have like a down specialist swapping out some cyberware, sort of a quote unquote stance change type deal, where it's like, okay, I'm making some
Interesting.
swaps and I can do different moves. I mean,
Mhm.
theoretically, any of these characters, except for really Vault Dweller, could do a sort of stance change type deal, or just swapping out your stuff. Yeah, I guess even if you just approach Vault Dweller from like the thought of he's swapping some equipment around, all of them could just give multiple movesets in one. It's certainly possible.
Yeah.
But the idea of all the cybernetics with V is just vastly more interesting to me.
Yeah. Okay, well, hooray.
That and
Wait.
he also has inbuilt mobility options that can make him a
And-
bit more zippy.
And we have another character that could fall in the line of Palatina's guidances or Snake's Codex. Have Johnny Silverhand's thoughts on each of the other characters, and
Oh,
have him
that would
just
be
talk shit.
hilarious.
There you go. There you go.
That'd be funny. I don't know how accurate that would be, but that'd be funny.
I mean, Johnny doesn't typically know things that V doesn't, but you know.
Well, he could comment and be like, "What the fuck is this? Is that a duck on a dog's head, and you're fighting it, and it's kicking your ass?" V, get it together.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
What is the yellow rat doing here, and how is it throwing thunderbolts? Be careful, it might fry your cybernetics. There's
Right.
comedy here.
Yeah, there is.
All right.
Just
Well,
like the comedy between the three of us, Super Cast Brothers.
well, with that, we've got our two winners of the day, the Dragonborn and V. We'll see them both in the Tournament of Champions later in the season. But that's the episode, Twilix. Once again, thank you for coming here and sharing your knowledge on these characters. We'll have you back eventually for something. I don't know what it'll be. But you know, every once in a while we have the contractual appearance from Twilix. I'm like, hey, appear on the show or give me money. And you decide to appear on the show instead of giving me money. I don't know why you would do that. Just give me money, then you could avoid it. But you know, the choice is yours, and you make a choice.
Yes,
Yeah.
my money.
Well, next time on Super Cast Brothers. Hey, isn't Nintendo filming another movie right now? Like a live action Zelda movie? Huh. Maybe we should talk about that. Talk about what we think about that and what very little we know. Yeah. Maybe we can have that discussion.
Have fun.
Oh, we will. Just as we had fun with you here today.
No, no
Is
tingle.
that a hamburger on your T-shirt? I've been trying to figure out all this episode.
No, it's Worlds of Fun.
Oh, yeah, that place. It's cool and fun.
Jesus.
World of Bun.
No. This isn't Ronald McDonald Land.
Sounds like Ronald is overtaken.
On that note, goodbye, everyone. Go
God.
do something else. I'm about
Yeah.
to watch another episode. I doubt it is. Go do something more productive, like your laundry.
Listening
the
to our
dishes.
new podcast,
taxes.
AJOLWTTA.
Yeah, go do that.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.